This is a Daft Dog production.
Quite valid way of making coffee is to actually just pour ground coffee into a cup, add salt and a bit of hot water.
Salt? Why salt?
It just brings up the flavour a bit, I think. It's probably quite bad for you, but it actually does work. If you just add a little bit of salt, just like get a cup, right? Coffee grounds, 2 spoons of coffee grounds, a little bit of salt, boiling water, strain it through your teeth. It's lovely.
That sounds like a surefire way to stain your teeth.
Possibly.
Well.
Who needs teeth?
Well, there are some advantages to having teeth.
I'll just get fake ones, it'll be fine.
Dave, can you say something else? I just need to get a level.
Hello!
Is that unusually loud for you? Is that about your usual volume?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. I bumped you up a bit, just to make you a bit louder than you were.
Okie dokie.
Where were you, Sophie? You're on 100%, and I can't change mine. Awesome.
So we just need to do our volume around you then?
Well, I have the volume that I have. But actually, on all the previous ones, I've been quieter than you two, and I've sort of did this levelling thing in the software to make all the voices more of a level.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, compression or something.
Oh, I don't know. I just faff around with it. When I'm doing video editing, I just faff around with all the different levels to make it work.
Yes, just randomly press buttons till something happens.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I took a bite of cake.
Cake? You got cake as well as coffee?
Uh-huh. I made the cake yesterday.
Good Lord. I'm not jealous at all.
Anyway, are we getting this party started?
Yes.
Although actually, if you were recording some of that, you could definitely use some of that.
I have been recording for a little while, and there will be some snippets. Another way I like to start mid-conversation, we'll be doing some of that. Have you listened to episode 4, by the way, Sophie? It's very good.
I just can't listen to my own voice. I really hate it.
Oh, okay. I have to hear a lot of my own voice because obviously I edit it. So there's not much choice, really. I don't.
It's fine when I'm talking. I like the sound of my voice then. But, everyone obviously hears their voices slightly different to how it actually sounds to other people.
Yes.
I don't like how it sounds when it's recorded. So I do apologise to everyone who has to listen to that. Sods.
Literally nobody likes the sound of their own voice recorded. Apart from maybe some massive show-offs, but, most people don't.
I don't know. I'm going to have to put that question out there to people. I know my other half doesn't like the sound of his own voice recorded.
No, I don't actually know anyone who does. Who does like the sound of their own voice.
Well, my brother's quite egotistical, so I'll ask him.
Okay, that's going in. So anyway, hello Sophie.
Hello.
And hello Dave.
Hello.
This is episode 5 of EDS Podcast. What have you been doing recently, Sophie?
I have been watching a little bit of Star Trek Discovery, actually, which I'm looking at the show notes, and I don't think they're on there. Oh, hold on. I haven't got to the end yet.
There's no, so totally are. They are third,
Sorry.
4th item down with your name next to it.
Yeah, sorry, I hadn't gone all the way down. Yes, so we will be discussing that at some point.
Jolly good. I have a fair amount to say about that as well, actually. So I wonder if we agree. Oh, the tension. And Dave, what have you been up to recently?
I have been playing Cuphead.
Oh, Cupheads, yes. What have you got to say about Cupheads? What's the premise of this game?
It's like 1930s animation style, kind of like a retro Mega Drive type game, like gameplay wise. What
was it? Was it a platformer or what?
It kind of is. You fight like mini bosses and
right.
You do some platforming levels. It's a mixture.
A bit more sort of like in the Fez territory, in that kind of area?
Yeah, that kind of thing. But like I say, the graphic style is 1930s animation.
Right, okay.
So everything's quite cutesy. It's ridiculously hard.
Is it?
I would say it's, of recent games, it's probably as hard as Devil Daggers.
Devil Daggers is what came to mind, yes.
Yeah, it's painfully hard, but because the levels are quite short, it's quite addictive. So you kind of get into that, I'll give it one more go, and then it's about an hour later, and you're still on the same level.
Yeah.
No, it's good then that the levels are quite short, because apart from anything else, that means it means you don't have to go too far back when you reload.
This is true, but it is, like I say, because of the difficulty level, it does get quite frustrating at times.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like my sort of game, to be honest.
The thing is, with the bosses, when you fight the bosses, they have different forms, so you have to get through, like, each form to get, like, to beat the boss type thing, but you do it once, and you'll die on the first form, and then you're like, oh, okay, I know how to do it now. You get to the second form, and then you're kind of like, how the fuck am I meant to do this? And that might take you a few tries. And you'll get to the third form, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's getting ridiculous. But
when does it end?
And
sorry, I just had a canine visitor there. I'm just going to shoo him from the room.
Aww.
Hold on a sec.
It's so cute. I walked my friend's dog the other day. It was quite exciting.
Why was it exciting? Did he run away?
No, I accidentally kicked him in the face.
Oh, no!
He's a little dog. You know, he's not very big at all.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Ran between my legs and as I was walking. And you know how it is when you walk, you put one foot in front of the other. Dog ran into my foot. That's my line and I'm sticking to it.
I know somebody who did much the same thing with their iPhone. They were jogging and it came off whatever it was attached to them with, like on their arm or something. And,
those like armband things.
That's right. And it went forward, kind of span, rotated, went forward. And as he's jogging, he managed to kick it perfectly. And so it kicked a large arc, several meters, and then smashed on the pavement ahead into about 1 million pieces. One ex-iPhone, done.
iPhones are so fragile. I dropped my phone today and it bounced about 3 times on its corners. No damage.
Really awesome. Do you have a case on it?
Of course I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Bearing in mind, I've already dropped this phone and cracked the screen, except I had a glass screen protector on it, so the screen was actually fine. Although it took me ages to realise this.
I have a Spigen case. All my last few cases have been Spigen or Otterbox, and I think they are both of a similar level of protection, but Spigen are nicer looking. And I'm a repeated phone dropper. But my current phone, Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, if you're remotely interested, is unscathed through its many, many drops, including a drop in the middle of the road. So we have to, you drop it and think, oh no, have to run back in front of a lorry and grab it.
Only you would run in front of a lorry for your phone.
I'm
or
not
one of these people who bought the iPhone X and spent $1,000 on it.
Well, I'd have to save the phone. Throw the phone on the pavement before I get squished.
At least I've still got my contacts.
That's right. Anyway, what I've been doing recently is I've got a new pair of earbuds, Bluetooth earbuds. I bought on a whim, I've not had any Bluetooth headphones still. I got on a whim in January a pair of eCandy, that very well-known purveyor of high-quality audio equipment, earbuds for £8. And I managed to nurture them till October. When one day they just refused to start. You press the on button, nothing happens. They were like done. I've had if I held the button down, then they would work, but only as long as I held the button down.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's £1 a month.
Less than
£1 a month. Yeah.
So I felt
didn't owe you
anything. And I have a uniquely mutated left ear, it appears, because although I can get earbuds that fit my right ear quite happily, they constantly fall out of my left ear. Like all the time, and I you get those ones. I got these really expensive earbuds. They're wired ones, they're really good ones. But they got like 10 different shaped and sized little rubber things gone the end, and not a single one of them will stay in my left ear. Not one. And what these eCandy ones, whatever they're called, uniquely did is they stayed in my left ear, which I've literally never had another one that does that. So I've got these new ones, and they're Anker Soundbuds Slim, super expensive, £15. Bluetooth earbuds, and their sound quality is, I have to say, a major step up from the eCandy ones. However, as per every other set, the left ear doesn't stay in.
Well, if you're not too worried about fashion, and I know you're not because you're Ed.
Fash what? No, never heard it, sorry.
Whatever. I've always seen Ed walking. Thinks every road like a catwalk.
Only wears designer. That's Argos, by the way. It would be if they did clothes. No, what you can do, what I used to do when my brother and we went through a phase of using radios when we went on bike rides, mostly just because it was really fun and we had these little earpieces in and they kept falling out my ear. So I ended up using like micropore tape, like medical tape, and just taping it in my ear. So you just slap some tape around your ear.
Wrap some tape around your head and then that's not going anywhere.
Not around your head, just around your ear.
I've seen racing drivers do that because obviously they have to put these things in their ears and then wedge their helmet on top. And you can't be like doing 190 miles an hour down the back straight and fiddling around under your helmet trying to get your earbud back in. So they do literally tape their earbuds in.
I wonder if that's also a safety thing, though, because one of the things you learn if you do first aid and you have to attend a motorbike accident is never take the helmet off. But in the rare situation where you have to ask them if they're conscious, if they've got anything in their ears. Because obviously, as you're taking the helmet off, you can catch things and then cause more damage.
I never got asked this when I had my bike accident.
Did somebody take your helmet off, or did you take your own helmet off?
I was unconscious, so...
Oh, I see.
But when I came to, the paramedics just took my helmet.
Right.
Okay, well, paramedics probably have different rules. They probably have been trained differently. But as a first aider, you don't take a motorcyclist's helmet off unless you think that they're not breathing. It's kind of like it's kind of stupid asking if they've got anything in their ear, because if they can answer you, then they can breathe. So don't take the helmet off. But it's something you get told off for in your revalidation. Anyway, this is so totally off topic. Let's go back to cool stuff. Yes.
So anyway, Anker Soundbuds Slim work very well, connect very well, nice long battery life. Don't stay in my left ear. Otherwise, they're fine.
Apart from that,
they're awesome. So on to the first item. Dave, what can we tell from Bill Gates abandoning Windows Phone and moving to Android?
That Windows phones were shit.
Yes, Windows phones suck if even Bill Gates has left them.
Well, they did suck. I didn't have one, but my mum did, and her constant complaint about it was the fact that you can't get any apps for it. No apps work on Windows phones. Nope.
That is the problem. So a friend a couple of years ago had a Windows phone and was very happy with it. Back about when Microsoft just bought Nokia. But he tended to use just straight Office apps, and of course they all worked fine, and wasn't that worried about, I don't know, having the latest caffeine tracker or whatever other people might have on their phones. But no, if you're outside the Windows app, outside the Windows ecosystem, then it's no good at all. And it's interesting that he's gone for an Android. He doesn't say what Android he's gone for. Anyone like to take any bets as to what that might be?
Samsung.
Yeah, I reckon Samsung. Do wonder why not an iPhone though. Why did Mr. Gates reject an iPhone, do you think?
Because he would get
they're
shit ripped out of him if he bought an Apple product.
Which, I have to say, I don't think iPhones are shit. I think they're overpriced and have the most annoying keyboards on the planet.
Which kind of makes them a bit shit.
Well, okay. All right, yes.
Would you pay over the odds for a shitty keyboard?
No.
No.
No. In fact, the keyboard is why I abandoned iProducts for Android. It's because the keyboard drives me nuts.
What I will grant about iPhones is that I think their cameras are quite good. Their screens are nice and sensitive.
Yeah, true on both of those things. And there's a lot of nice touches to the OS. I can't get my head around the keyboard though.
No, exactly. It's like, it's a great touchscreen to use, but I don't want to touch the keyboard, so problem.
Yeah, quite. So, Sophie, been watching anything interesting on TV recently?
Yes. Let's talk Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, can we? I've been looking forward to this all week.
Technically not on TV, technically a Netflix thing.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, close enough. I think I've watched, I can't remember actually if I watched the first episode or the first two episodes. but I pretty much decided I didn't like it about an hour in.
That's really interesting. Why? Why don't you like it?
I just don't think it's Star Trek-y enough. I think they've done what I thought they would do, which is they've made it too gritty. And it's like, where are the one-liners? Where are the jokes? Everyone is so damn serious in this.
Where's the little sort of quip right at the end of every episode that you know will leave you with a smile, which is like a trademark of all of them. Even the films have this.
Yeah, even the films have like these funny little clever things in there that just make you smirk or giggle or whatever. I remember watching, which one was it? I think it was the second Star Trek movie of the new lot, Into Darkness. And okay, fine. I went to see it on like the first day it was released, and so the cinema was packed with Trekkie fans.
Yep.
But people were actually laughing out loud at the jokes in that.
Yep.
And I loved that. Didn't get this from Discovery. I thought it was far too, not quite Game of Thrones-esque, but along those serious sort of lines.
It
like
is.
Realistic lines. And Star Trek isn't necessarily realistic.
No. I appreciate it. I've seen the most recent episode, so I'm several episodes ahead of you. Do you mind if I do a slightly spoilerific conversation at this point?
This is fine, because I don't think I'll carry on watching it.
That's sad in itself, because, in many ways, it's the top quality, top draw science fiction product. But what actually really surprised me, I was watching the most recent one last night, and this isn't a plot spoiler so much as a sort of content spoiler, if you like. They were looking at something they'd done. They're sort of standing around on the spaceship looking at something they'd done. And one of the crew said, "Fuck me, that's so awesome." And like, Debbie and I looked at each other and think, what? What was that we just heard in a Star Trek? And the funny thing is, the other people on set, they obviously tried to make a thing out of it. They both stared at this woman. And then another one said, "Yes, that is fucking awesome." And I thought, I've never heard swearing of any sort on any Star Trek before.
No, because that was one of the jokes, actually, that made me giggle when I saw Into Darkness in the cinema. When, Sodding Hellfire, Simon Pegg sees the ship for the first time. I can't remember what they called it. The mega ship.
Yeah.
The really big, awesome one. Sees it for the first time, and he's on the verge of swearing. Like, he starts going, shh, and then it cuts scene, and the door swishes open with that swish noise. And it was just so funny, because it was all completely implied, but they didn't actually quite swear. Oh, stop coughing.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Apologies. I'll edit all those out, don't worry.
No worries.
Yeah, so it was a real shocker last night. And obviously, as you say, they're making a lot more gritty. We are in a post-Game of Thrones era, when all TV drama has to be gritty to be taken seriously. And here we are. And the fact that it's like one story from beginning to end, and the fact it's a lot grittier than it has been. Their uniforms get dirty, and they get into fights with Klingons, and there's like blood and stuff. And it's all a bit serious. And I do wonder if they have lost. Well, they have. I think there's no doubt about it. They have lost. It does mark a sea change. They have lost something from all the previous films and all the previous series added together. What it is I would say top drawer, high budget science fiction, and it's enjoyable for that. And I was watching it last night, and I think this is very good. It's not very Star Trek-y, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm liking it. But you can't get away from the fact that that there's a definite sea change from what has gone before, and that's probably right in some ways, because they've tried lots of different formats. When you look at Enterprise. Enterprise was a good reboot, wasn't it? With the and Scott Bakula, there we go, with him in it as the captain. I thought he was good, and the things were good, but it just didn't get an audience and petered out after a couple of series. So I think they knew they had to try something different. Whether this works or not, I don't know. The other thing I noticed the first time, and obviously that they have been at the forefront of diversity, haven't they? Because you recall that the original Star Trek they had the first kiss between a white American and an African American on TV.
Really? Was it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I confess that quite escaped my notice.
I
thought it just made all Star Trek fans go, "Wait, what?"
No, this is right back in the series in the 60s, you see.
Okay.
She in the middle of all the civil rights stuff that was going on.
do know about that.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
There's civil rights things that happen.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Look, just because we aren't all posh, Ed, doesn't mean we're all ignorant.
I don't know anyone who is posh. If you ever meet someone, do be sure to point them out for me.
Look in the mirror.
Anyway, moving on. And
Dave, you've been noticeably quiet on this topic.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it. I don't really care.
Good answer.
Yeah, fair enough. The funny thing, there's a couple of other things I'd like to say about this. Is I think, in terms of what we might call diversity, right? The cast is, the lead character, like an African American woman. Okay, there are lots of different. There's a smattering of white people, African American people.
The captain is Chinese, isn't she?
That's only the first 2 episodes. After that, the captain is
someone else.
Jason Isaacs.
Okay.
To whom we are legally obliged to say hello.
Hello.
Not doing it.
Okay, fair enough. But there's strong female parts, there's strong male parts, and I would say they've literally, the producers appear to have bent over backwards to make sure that everyone is suitably represented. And yet, at a press conference, the production team on the back foot having been accused of making the Klingons look too African.
Oh, for crying out loud. That wouldn't have been decided by them, though, because the Klingons in Star Trek Discovery, I thought, looked exactly the way they've been presented in Into Darkness, the movie. Because they had a noticeable difference in that movie.
They have. They are quite different, aren't they? There's been basically the second complete change in what the Klingons look like. Because the original ones from the first series, the original Star Trek series, were just sort of blokes with big eyebrows.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the Worf era Klingons with the pasty heads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now we've got something altogether different. And I have to say, I don't get this. I mean, last night, without sort of any comment, they had a couple chatting. They've gone back to their quarters, and they were clearly a couple, clearly like partners, if you like, and they were chatting to each other, and they were both blokes, and they made no deal about it at all. So here we are again with Star Trek Discovery right in the forefront, or Star Trek series again right in the forefront of diversity, if you like. And I really don't think they deserve criticism for that.
No, they shouldn't. There we go. End of discussion.
End of discussion. What I did see on Twitter, is lots of people who are American on Twitter, and they were saying that the Orville is what Star Trek should have been. Now, a combination of listening to what they've been saying and actually finding some clips on YouTube, it appears to me that the Orville is like Kirk era plots with dialogue from Airplane.
That could work.
It is, yeah. It actually does appear to be quite funny and quite entertaining. But again, lacking substance, though, I'd say. So it's gone a bit too far the other way. But again, it's not a direct Star Trek thing. It's clearly a Star Trek-esque thing. It's clearly sort of nodding in the direction of, whilst in the detail, just avoiding everything just enough to avoid a lawsuit, probably.
Yeah.
So, Dave, have you been seeing interesting films recently?
Leading question.
I may have seen Blade Runner, the new one.
Yes, and what did you think of it?
It was very, very, very good.
That's a lot of berries in there. You quite liked it then?
Yeah, I did quite like it. I enjoyed the original, and to be honest, I was slightly worried it might be a bit shit.
I think we all had that worry. Since I heard there's going to be a sequel, I'm like, what are you doing with a sequel? You can't do a sequel of that.
At least it wasn't a reboot, because then it would have been shit. Yeah.
That's one of those sacred films. You can't do Blade Runner in the same way that you can't do Spartacus.
Yes.
If they ever do Spartacus, that's it. I'm never watching another film again. They can all sod off.
So all the film directors out there,
Yes, well, many of whom clearly subscribe to this this podcast. Take note.
You have been warned.
Yes, if ever he makes Spartacus, your audience will be down by 1.
Ooh, burn.
So do you think, Dave, it sort of held true to the ethos of the original Blade Runner? Do you think it didn't sort of veer wildly off in any direction, or do you think how close do you think it was?
I think it's as close as you're going to get it, to be honest.
Really?
Because it's like the whole kind of cyberpunk era was all pulled off quite well, the atmosphere and everything.
It's clearly dystopian, isn't it? Clearly a dysfunctional society. They've got some. It's supposed to be Los Angeles. It's supposed to be, but snowing there and like snowing all the time. So clearly that like the climate has changed significantly by the look of it.
Into a sort of nuclear winter-esque setting.
Well, yeah, certainly. The whole setting. I mean, I think they've done very much to capture what was very striking. I mean, since you've had this sort of the Blade Runner look, I mean, so many other films have been made, or TV series made with that kind of look to their sort of dystopian post-apocalyptic worlds, and certainly this one's very good. They actually expanded it slightly, so we saw beyond the bounds of the city, didn't we? And without giving away any plot spoilers, we went beyond the bounds of what we've been seeing before, and I think they did very well actually in expanding the universe without changing it. Have you heard? What do you think of the criticisms, Dave, that it was misogynistic?
I think it's a load of bollocks.
Sophie, have you seen this film?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen the original, though, to be fair, so I wouldn't have anything to compare it to.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I think we go into slightly spoilerific territory here.
Warning, spoilers.
Yes, warning, spoilers. Without giving any major plot points, but just talking about the circumstance of some of the things. The criticism is that some of the female characters were objectified or over objectified, and the central character had he had a sort of hologram who was a combination between like a classic beauty like Audrey Hepburn with the sort of cooking ability of Elizabeth David or Mary Berry. You know, it's like a sort of idealised view of a 1950s housewife, and I think this is at the heart of the complaints. I mean, there are many sort of strong female characters in there. There's the main antagonist is a female character. You have Robin Wright playing a strong female police chief, and she obviously has a very forceful character. I think she always plays sort of very forceful characters, doesn't she? And she does a good job at that. What I felt was the point of the hologram character was to show how flawed both the society is, because obviously there's a not the microphone there. There's a
punched it off again.
I was wondering what that was.
sorry.
Like it was something I did.
I'm flapping my hands about as I'm talking. But where was I talking about? I've lost my track.
How flawed society was.
Old age chicken.
What was that, Sonny? But the whole point, if you such, there was the relationship with the hologram was to show that the lead character, Kay, had his most meaningful relationship was with a hologram. He had no other interpersonal relationships, you know, and in fact, there's a market for these because you see adverts for this same character. So obviously, there's in this society, it's so dysfunctional that so many people don't have like meaningful relationships, that the most meaningful relationship is with a hologram. And I thought the point of that was to show how flawed, how dystopian not only the society but also the relationship with the main person is. I mean, he was so attached to her, he actually effectively bought her a DLC, bought her a downloaded pack as a present. And I think actually this just shows his attachment to this character, showing how poor the quality of his interpersonal relations are. And I think that was the point of it. And
And you
I
think that was missed by the reviewers?
Well, I think that's missed by people who are complaining it was misogynistic and the women were objectified, because you had, on the one hand, strong female characters, and on the other hand, there was a point. If it had been reversed, if the lead character had been played by someone, let's say Jennifer Lawrence, right, so being played by a woman, I assumed that the hologram, to make the same point, would have been a kind of fireman calendar Adonis figure.
I don't have a problem with this.
Yeah, exactly. This is bullshit.
Well, I think no one would have a problem with this, and I think this is the point of it. I think, if you go searching for issues, you've got to find them. But
Yes.
I think these days with films and TV series, I think it runs on the thread that runs on the last two things we talked about. They bend over backwards to try and make sure that they're not misogynistic, they're not racist, and that there isn't much to complain about. And so people still manage to go in there and complain about things anyway.
People will always find something to complain about.
True enough.
But like you say, I mean, if you go looking for flaws, you will find them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basic research tools. That, I mean, when I went to university, and they actually give you lectures on how to research properly, because if you type in, does vitamin C cause something or another, you will find a dozen arguments to support that and a dozen arguments to that disprove it.
Oh, absolutely.
So
try
how you do your search.
Try typing in, is the world flat?
No, we're not going there. Except unless we're going to laugh at people.
Well, I'm just saying, if you type that in,
yes, you'll find supporting arguments for it.
you will find it. Yes, you'll find a lot about that.
Oh, that's sad, isn't it?
Because after all, when you're in the trench on the Death Star, you can't see the curve.
Look, okay, that film was made quite a long time ago.
Wait, that's not a film. That was real.
Yeah, that's a documentary.
You're damn straight it was.
I think we're now at the part of our show where we talk about Star Wars, as happens every time.
No, I was going to let that one go because we haven't actually got anything to talk about, except for the fact that obviously the new trailer is out, and they had Force Friday 2. They have, it's a pure marketing thing, but they had Force Friday 2, which was basically the day they released the trailer and a whole load of Star Trek toys.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars, sorry. My brain is malfunctioning, okay? I had coffee quite late in the day. This means that my mouth is talking and not my brain.
Fair enough.
If that makes sense.
Fair enough. I live in a permanent coffee haze, so actually if you deprive me of caffeine, I shut down.
But my point is,
yeah,
I have not seen the trailer, and I have no intention of watching the trailer.
Oh, good Lord, no, I'm not seeing the trailer. Nope.
No, you have to go and watch the movie straight off. Because I know I'm going to see it. I don't need a trailer to convince me to go and see it. And I don't want to see anything that might give me any clues about what's going to happen.
No, absolutely not. Dave, you're going to say?
I won't give my opinion then on the trailer.
On the trailer? No, don't do that.
Ruin Sophie's day.
Because, of course, there are numerous rumours.
Your day, 'cause I come and break your neck.
Good luck finding my
blood. There are numerous rumours about what the major thing is about the next thing. Do we want to discuss those at all, or would that be too close to the bone, do you think, Sophie?
We could discuss them. I mean, I saw quite a funny thing pop up on the internet that had Rey, Luke, and Anakin talking together. And so Rey says, "Guys, what can I expect from my second film?" And Luke goes, "Well, in my second film, I got my hand chopped off." And Anakin goes, "Yeah, and in my second film, I fought Count Dooku and got my hand chopped off." And then it goes, and then it cuts to Rey, and she goes, "Wait, do you think that's going to happen to me?" So possibly, I think she's going to lose a hand.
Yeah, there's a good chance of that, isn't there?
There's a good chance of something happening.
The rumour is that numerous rumours, and one rumour is that she's going to turn to the dark side.
Oh no! See, I think this would be sad.
Yeah,
because then who's going to fight her?
I don't tend to see it very likely. I mean, the next thing is that what's his name? Kylo Ren is going to turn away from the dark side.
I don't think he will, because they've already done that with Darth Vader.
Or the last thing is that the major Sith is actually going to turn out to be Luke Skywalker, who's turned to the dark side.
Now, that's an interesting one. You should say that, because you remember Dennis is in My Former Boss, Dennis?
Yep.
Yeah, see, he thought that could have happened in the in episode 7, in the first one of the third trilogy. He thought that might have been sort of the plot twist in episode 7.
Because when we think about it, who trained Kylo Ren? Who was it?
Well, we all think it's this Supreme Leader Snoke, which, I'm sorry, that has to be said with a German accent. Supreme doesn't work in any language other than with a German accent. Supreme. It's awesome. That was slightly French. Sorry about that. But there is one of the characters, what's his name? The commander in it. The ginger one. I can't remember his name now.
But played even by Donald Gleason.
Quite possibly. I don't know the actor's name.
Commander Ginger. There you go.
Commander Ginger. But even he, when he approaches Supreme Leader Snoke at one point in the film, he says Supreme with a German accent. And it's so funny.
It's like that,
I think it just slips out.
It's like that in reference to the Supremes.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, good Lord. It was like
Am I too young?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you're too old.
Yes, well, that's possible. It's not even the type of music I listen to. It is the name of a band, the Supremes.
Oh, okay. I'll take word for it.
No, okay. Well, I just cut this bit out because then it won't make you seem so old.
But leave that bit in.
Yeah, absolutely right. I was having a think about this because I had occasion recently to rewatch Rogue One. And we quite recently watched all of the original Star Wars films to basically bring my older son William up to speed before going to see the last Star Wars film at the cinema last year. So within the last 12 months or so, we've watched all of the Star Wars films going right back to Phantom Menace in Star Wars chronological order, right up to the Return of the Jedi. And then we went to see...
Pretty good guy.
Sorry?
Pretty good going.
Pretty good guy. And then we went to see... what's the film called with Rey and what's his name?
Episode 7, but... Oh, my God.
Force Awakens.
Brain freeze.
Force Awakens, thank you.
I'm not even the Star Wars fan.
It's because I was thinking of The Last Jedi, and then I was like, no, I'm sure it's not called The Last Jedi. That's episode 8.
That's episode 8, that's right. No, I was exactly the same conundrum. So it's in all of the films, and then we saw Rogue One, and in my view, Rogue One is the best Star Wars film. It's the
Technically,
it's
not a Star Wars film. It's a Star Wars story.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm just being an ass.
No. Yeah, well, you have a point. But if we broaden it out, so it's within the Star Wars, and it definitely links in. You can't say it doesn't link into the Star Wars films because it does.
Yeah.
It literally hands it right over.
Literally.
Absolutely.
I'll stop saying that now.
But I think as a film, it's the best one. It's the one that's most moving. It's the one that works best as a film. It's the one that I most believed in. I was choked at the end of that film.
Oh, it was really, really brilliant, wasn't it?
It was. Really.
I thought it was...
A blind Chinaman with a stick. So this instantly makes it a good film.
Well, this is the first rule of cinema, isn't it? You don't mess with a blind Chinaman with a stick.
Oh, hell no.
And you get a bunch of loser stormtroopers turn up, say, "Ha, blind Chinaman with a stick." The outcome from that encounter is entirely predictable.
I loved it.
I know, it was brilliant, wasn't it? I loved it when he jabbed the guy's foot with his stick and said, "Oh, how's your foot?"
I loved it when he did. What did he do? They get sort of. After the fight, they get captured by the rebels, and they put a bag over his head, and he goes, "Seriously?
Yeah, I know.
I'm blind." Oh, that was just great.
Yeah, it was.
I would have preferred it if his character was actually in the actual Star Wars film.
Yes,
Yeah.
but they had to be very careful with it, didn't they? Because you couldn't have... They could only have certain characters from the saga, if you will, in that movie, because otherwise it just wouldn't have made sense. Canonically? Canonically. Oh, that's a tricky word to say.
It is. Especially after, you have to have enough coffees to do that.
I've had too many coffees. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
It's going to babble instead.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, my view is that is the best Star Wars film. And, it's going to be a tough act for the sort of mainstream Star Wars film to follow. I think the next, what's it called? The Last Jedi. It's going to be a difficult one to follow, if you ask me.
Yes, very much so. I'm not quite sure I agree with you with it being the best.
Oh,
just
really?
because I'm sorry, I'm very traditional, and it's got to be episode 5.
Episode 5?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, if I was going to say anything, I'd say episode 4, surely.
No, The Empire Strikes Back. Come on, biggest plot twist in history.
I know, but episode 4 was the original. It was the one the whole series is named after. And don't give me that It's a New Hope bullshit. It's called Star Wars.
No, I liked episode 5. Episode 5 was really good because, yes, bad things happened in it, but it was all about sort of like the rebels' struggle, if you will. Mm-hmm. And it was very, very, very good. And obviously that epic moment of, no, Luke, I am your father.
Yes, well, there is that. Yeah,
which
all right,
everyone misquotes.
That was a good film. Yes, that was a good film. The biggest problem I had with episode 6 is actually with the Ewoks. And I know this is a well-trodden path. But let's just bring it up again and rehash it just one more time. I was listening to another podcast recently which alleged that during the production cycle, it was originally going to be a Wookiee planet.
Yep, that would have made so much more sense.
It kind of would, but then they thought it would take away from Chewbacca as a character. You know,
no, not at all.
You know, if they're going to like the Wookiee homeworld, what's he going to do? Is he going to go visit his mum and dad, or you know?
No, they could have invented some sort of epic plot line about how his parents were killed by slavers or something. Because if you play any of the games, I think it's in The Force Unleashed, where you play as Darth Vader's secret apprentice. Which, okay, fine, it's non-canon, but one of the ideas that they introduced there is that the Empire has enslaved the Wookiee planet of Kashyyyk or Kashyyyk, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So that could have easily been a plot line or a subplot there.
It would have made more sense had it been, a Wookiee world rather. But what they actually did instead is they said, okay, we're going to take the idea and just like shrink them and make them animated teddy bears, which is just really annoying. If they'd been Wookiees, it would have been far more credible. His idea of them, fighting back against stormtroopers and tripping over those. What do you call the two-legged walker things? They're not AT-ATs, the other things, aren't they? Tripping those over.
I used to always call them chicken walkers, but I know that's not what they're called.
No, AT-ATs, is it?
No, the AT-ATs are the big ones with 4 legs.
The 4 ones are, God knows.
I like how both of us there were like, no, those are the big ones.
Who's our resident researcher this week?
Southern Hellfire, I'm on it.
Cool.
Star Wars Chicken Walker. Oh, the pressure. You know what? It comes up as an AT-AT chicken walker.
Oh, no.
So...
ATST.
That's it. Thank you, Dave.
How did you get that?
That's it, right?
Yes.
Yes,
but
so
anyway.
really it's all of us going, we were saying you were wrong and actually you were kind of right. So, sorry.
I was more right than you.
You were.
And that's what counts at the end of the day. So yes, so it would have made more sense, and it would have been sort of more logical and more cohesive had it been a Wookiee homeworld, I think. And for me, the whole thing was really teddy bears. And it's a science fiction like space opera, and you're going to have to be suspending your disbelief to some considerable degree to even be in the cinema, right? And that's taken as read. But animated teddy bears, really?
Yes, someone did a meme of this. It was quite funny, and it had sort of, the shot in episode 3 where the stormtroopers are marching on the Jedi Temple.
Right.
And it had that, and it had like episode 3, stormtroopers capable of destroying the Jedi inside their own stronghold. Episode 6, defeated by teddy bears.
I know, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, why do they even bother to have that armour on? I mean, honestly, it's as much use as a chocolate teapot. Because, it protects them from nothing.
Maybe should see the videos on the internet about that. They're just so funny. I had, back before you had to have a Google account to have a YouTube account.
Yeah.
I had a YouTube account that was just, I had a playlist of my favourite, funniest Star Wars videos. And one was called, it was a stormtrooper recruitment video, and it just highlighted all the flaws with the stormtroopers, and it was really, really funny.
Well, if you manage to track that down and find it and message it to me, I'll put the link in the.
Let's see if I can find it now.
Awesome.
will have to mute my speakers. So let me know if it mutes my voice, because me and technology, we don't mix well.
Great for a technology podcast, Sophie.
I'm just here to provide light relief and talk about Star Wars.
You are indeed our Star Wars correspondent.
Yes, I am. Oh, this might be it. There's plenty of them, but I think it might be this one. Yeah, carry on. Don't mind me watching Stormtroopers.
Okay.
I'm going to assume it's this one and just send it to you. It's hard because I've muted it, so...
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Just
knock yourself out.
Got it. Yeah.
Empire recruitment film.
I'll stick that in the show notes. I'm probably going to watch it myself first and then stick it in the show notes. So anyway,
should we move on from Star Wars, because we do talk about it every time.
Excuse me, frog in my throat.
Get rid of that frog.
I know. I'll put it out the window. So anyway, not last weekend, but the weekend before, I went to Frontier Expo 2017. Now, Frontier, as you may know, make Elite Dangerous. This is our weekly Elite Corner. But not only that, but they also make Planet Coaster, which is like a theme park simulator. And it's very good, actually, because you can zoom right out. You can kind of construct your theme park. You can like download ready assembled rides and plonk them in place, or you can break down to like individual geometric shapes and build up your own rides.
This is good if you want to play a theme park simulator.
Yes.
If you're like me and you just want to kick ass and blood, not so good.
No, although of course you can make all your visitors throw up. You can do that.
Can you kill them?
Can you what, say?
Kill them.
Kill them? I don't
Yes.
know, actually. I don't know if you can turn the safeties off to that extent.
I think I have seen someone play this game, and I think we did try and make them die, and I don't think you could.
No, I don't think
Although
you actually
that
can.
was a long time ago, because we tried to do it by having the rides like so extreme that in theory the train should just come flying off the track.
Yep. Or the passenger's head should explode through force of gravity.
Yeah, this was like a good few years ago, probably before we had a concept of that sort of thing. Not a concept of gravity, just a concept of G-forces.
Yeah.
I think in Roller Coaster Tycoon you could.
Maybe that's what I played.
Yeah.
You could remove a section of track and the cart would crash and die. I don't know what these are called, but the ones that like you sit in like a block of seats, like a square of seats, and they go directly up and they bounce up and down. Do you know that kind of thing?
Oh, vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of concept. It just goes straight up, basically. And
like Destinator at Thorpe Park.
I guess so. And I don't know which one that is, but I will say yes.
Okay.
But if you set the boost to when it goes up, but don't build the thing long enough, the top comes off. It comes off the top.
It's not so funny that they die. I think I'd find it more funny if they landed somewhere.
Yeah, on top of a chip shop or something.
That could be okay.
That would be quite funny, wouldn't it?
All this talk of this sort of thing is actually making me want to watch Zombieland. Have you guys seen that film?
Oh, yes. No, that's a very good film.
It is.
That's
so
the one with
funny,
Woody Harrelson, isn't it? It's that one.
Yes.
And
it's
a brilliant
got,
cameo brilliant cameo by Bill Murray.
Yeah, except it's not just a cameo, though, because he's quite a big bit, actually, doesn't he?
Yeah, okay. Extended cameo.
Extended cameo. Well, cameo is when they get, like, one word, isn't it?
I don't know, actually. I'm not quite sure what the definition is, but anyway, it's definitely got him in it, and it's a thoroughly enjoyable film.
It is. It's a good film. Everyone should watch it.
No, it's actually the most enjoyable zombie film, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome.
Sorry, slightly off topic there.
No, it's fine. Off topic is good.
We're always off topic, to be fair.
The other game they just announced is a Jurassic World game. Jurassic World Evolved, I think it is. And this is basically, it's similar to Planet Coaster, but with more dinosaurs. And in that one, I'm pretty sure you do get to kill people. Especially you have to manage your dinosaurs and they can escape and there's disasters and you can have dinosaurs rampaging through crowds. And
this isn't going to have someone like driving with dinosaurs like in the film, which was one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in cinema.
I quite enjoyed that scene.
Which
horrible.
I thought it was fun.
Which scene?
The
He's
scene
riding a
where...
motorbike or something, and then there's two velociraptors running alongside him.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, with the 4 velociraptors and they're chasing down the big dinosaur who doesn't have a name.
Oh, yes.
The
that one.
Orthomosaurus or whatever they want to
Orthomosaurus, or
call
whatever
it.
it's called. Yeah. No. I don't know exactly how you can do it. There's only been one. There's been lots of stills. There's been one video of gameplay, but basically it looks like it's using the Planet Coaster engine, but they've dinosaured it up a whole load more. And introduced sort of dinosaur management and development as game issues and game ideas. It does look very good. Does look quite entertaining. Of course, none of these are Elite Dangerous.
Dinosaurs, however, will always sell.
Dinosaurs are always awesome. Because frankly, if they did come up with a Jurassic Park, wouldn't you go?
I just don't know.
Oh, really?
You know,
But dinosaurs.
it's kind of like if they...
I wouldn't. I've seen too many films where
Yeah,
people
the
die.
films, I'm kind of nervous about it.
But dinosaurs.
But the films have taught me my wisdom.
Yeah, I kind of enjoy having legs, Ed.
But Dave, dinosaurs.
Yeah. But it depends. If it's going to be like Jurassic World, where
Right.
you've got dinosaurs high-fiving each other and stuff, or if it's actually going to be like the original Jurassic Park, where you end up running into a toilet and getting eaten. I don't know.
That was so funny.
Such a funny scene, wasn't it? When you
I
gotta
don't
go,
think
you gotta go.
I don't think it's supposed to be funny, but I certainly laughed my arse off.
No, I think that bit is meant to be funny. I think
Is
that's
it?
one of the few bits in that film that's meant to be funny.
Right. I certainly.
Well,
I think,
how can it be taken any other way? I mean, what are you supposed to be feeling for this guy, other than
Well,
pity?
yes, he is certainly. They pointed out that to the first several films, I saw talk on this at Frontier Expo, and the guy who was Jack Horner, who's a world famous paleontologist and the scientific advisor on all of the films, he was giving a talk there, and he pointed out that the first 3 films only blokes got eaten.
Is that
and-
why they made such a thing about that girl getting eaten in Jurassic World?
I think
Like-
that's it, because she was the first woman to be eaten in any of the films, and also only nasty people get eaten. The dinosaurs.
I hadn't actually noticed that.
No, it's true. Well, according to this guy anyway, only bad people get eaten, and almost only men.
The hunter got eaten, didn't he? He wasn't a bad person.
I guess
Not
it depends.
particularly.
This is the one played by Bob Peck, wasn't it? Right, in the first film.
The one who says clever girl.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That was a brilliant line as well.
that was very good, wasn't it? Do you know? I think there'd be a good idea to watch this series again, starting at the first one.
I am quite thinking now Zombieland and then maybe Jurassic Park.
Yeah. That sounds-
Unfortunately, there are only so many hours in the day.
Well, this sounds like a film day. Because have you mentioned our Schwarzenegger-thon?
Yes, I was meant to come up with some films for you to watch, which I forgot about.
we have a bit of a film list, which is
You
going
need
to be...
to send me your film list so I can see if I can add to it.
That's a good... Okay, we'll send you the film list.
Good.
But that's coming up in a few weeks' time, and I have to say I'm quite looking forward to it, and quite is a massive understatement. Dave, how much are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, it'd be alright, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're right. I can think of worse.
Time, won't it?
I can think of worse ways to kill a Saturday.
Exactly. No, it's going to be very good.
Yes, it
Obviously,
is.
my love for Arnie is
Supreme?
known by many.
Arnie is pretty cool.
Yes, looking forward to killing Gunther as well, as may have been mentioned before in these parts.
That still doesn't have a UK release date.
No, is it released any day, or has just been released in the US? But we still don't actually have a date
Yeah.
at all for a UK release, which is a bit disappointing. Come on,
Okay,
Arnie.
this isn't ringing any
'cause
bells. I'm
clearly-
sorry.
Clearly, Arnie is a listener to this podcast, so
Of course he is.
Of course
He's
he
got
is.
time for that sort of shit.
absolutely right. So come on.
Governator of Candy Corner.
Let's just get this released in the UK because Dave and I need to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Don't make
the
them force to extreme illegal measures.
No, never recommend doing that. Of course.
Of course not.
Of
No,
course.
never.
No,
Never. No,
never.
never recommend it.
No. Good Lord, no.
What are these illegal measures you talk of?
I can't even think of. I can't even think of them.
I don't even know how you do it.
No, I've no idea.
All innocent here.
Yep.
I think I can hear helicopters as well.
No.
Damn it. Not again.
So anyway, back to Frontier Expo. There was a lot about Elite Dangerous. they've released a lot of, well, forthcoming in the next year, there's a lot of new content, all going to be free to existing owners of the game, if it looks to have the Horizons pack anyway. There's improvements to pretty much every core area: engineering, trading, mining, exploration. There's new ships coming in. There's the reappearance of old ships. There's a new lighting model, new planet surfaces, which looks super realistic. There's new missions that you'll only be able to undertake in a wing. There's squadrons coming in as a way of organising very large wings. There's carrier ships, player owned and run carrier ships. That's going to be pretty awesome. And of course, there's aliens, and they've certainly been stirring things up recently. Dave, you've come back in the game recently after a bit of an absence, haven't you? What do you think of it?
Well, I played with you, didn't I, for a little bit? We met some aliens. I may have screamed quite loudly and flew off into the distance whilst you were...
the aliens... You abandoned him?
Yes.
The aliens are pretty scary.
So are the aliens always hostile?
Yes, they are now. They weren't originally. They were sort of curious, but now they are hostile. Really, the question is how long before they become hostile. They're either hostile as soon as they see you, or they give you a few minutes to get away, then they're hostile. This came over and scanned me, and actually bumped into my spaceship. I was like, Dave, it's bumped into me, and David gone.
I'm not hanging around for this kind of shit.
Right, okay. So in the event of a zombie apocalypse,
yeah,
we don't count on Dave.
No, I used to play Left 4 Dead, and
oh god, I hate that game.
Known for a fact that I would be the first person in the safe room, and I've left all my teammates to die.
You were the one who actually locked the door, so you're the only person in the safe room.
Well, there was one time I was
You're like that guy, aren't you, in Train to Busan?
Yeah, pretty much, pushing people in front of zombies.
Pushing people in front of the zombies, that's right.
There was a time when I played once, and I managed to, don't ask me how the fuck I managed to do this, but I ran off and managed to get to the end of the level whilst everyone else was getting killed at the beginning of the level. So I don't know how I've managed that.
You must have triggered all the alarms and then just
and then just run
through.
Just kept running.
I just legged it and didn't look back.
It was basically like zombie Forrest Gump.
Run, Forrest, run!
And the braces came off my legs, and I just flew. But I do remember my teammates who I was playing with were saying, Dave, help us, where are you? I'm just like, I'm in the safe room, I'm done. See you later, you can all die.
Yeah, see you later, suckers.
Oh dear.
Well, no, it's good though, isn't it, Dave? They're very well done. They're well done enough that you don't have to go back and have another look, do you?
I don't know, because I kind of value my ship and don't want to get thrown off.
Yeah, no, I'm quite tempted to go and have another go, because there's a lot of new gameplay over in that, and I think they've done it quite well, because so far at least, if you like bumbling around doing your own thing, you're shipping your space tea, whatever you're doing, that you're not getting constantly annoyed by aliens. You actually have to go to the area of space where there are and basically poke them with a stick, which is quite nicely done in that way, I think, and they are pretty good. And but anyway. So yeah, lots of new stuff to come for Elite Dangerous. There's a new scale video coming out. These are well beloved of Elite Commanders. You take the smallest ship and the largest ship. It's actually become traditional as a sense of scale. Start off with your smallest thing being a banana, and then you zoom out from the bananas all the way through the smallest ships, right up to the 2 kilometre long capital ships, with everything in between. And there's a new one of those out, which is particularly entertaining and includes the alien ships. So I'll link that in the show notes for anyone who's interested. Surely everyone.
I'm sorry, I'm sarcastic and rude.
I've also found a new favourite YouTuber who's a Latvian fellow called his YouTube channel is The Yamix. I'll link that in the show notes as well. His language is pretty fruity and it's quite full on. But if you're as in touch with your inner 12-year-old as I am, I have to say, I laughed my arse off at this guy. I came as close to spraying coffee as I've ever done watching one of this guy's videos. And this is coffee. No, well, you don't want to waste coffee.
To be honest, I thought you were going to say spraying something else. I was like, it's a bit graphic of your description.
No, not that graphic. Good Lord.
Just wondered where you were going with it. That's all.
Do you mind? This is a family podcast.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not a family podcast.
Not even close.
But anyway, I'll link him in the show notes. I forwarded a couple of you, didn't I, Dave? What did you think?
They were quite funny. Obviously, yeah, you're more into it than I am because you're more into Elite than I am. But hearing the way he has done his ship reviews and stuff are bloody hilarious.
Yeah, they are. They're very funny. Well worth a watch if you have any interest in Elite Dangerous and a strong stomach. Anyway, moving on. Dave, we found a pretty awesome keyboard supply, didn't we, during the week?
Yes. Was it WASD?
WASD. I wonder where I've
I'm
seen
sorry,
that pattern
was it
before.
when you were supposed to be working?
Look, we're working. This is absolutely...
We were on a lunch break, Sophie,
break.
so... Which starts at 9 and finishes at 5.
Yes, just to coin a phrase, we were on a break.
Apparently, that's the most quoted Friends quote ever.
Is it really?
Yeah, I don't know how you measure that, though.
No, anecdotal evidence only, I think.
Yeah,
As in, I reckon that must be.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, keyboard.
The joy of these keyboards are that they're completely custom made, that you can choose your super clackety keys, how clackety you want. You can choose, cherry MX reds or blues or browns, whatever you want. And whether they have dampeners in or not, you can choose the exact layout you want. You can choose what's printed on the keys. So you have the ordinary QWERTY keyboard or whatever. And then you can choose what other decals are printed on there. You could have a pattern printed over all the keys if that's what you want.
This is like Pimp My Ride, but Pimp My Keyboard.
It's Pimp My Keyboard. I mean, they are a little expensive. Not drastically expensive, actually. I mean, what were they, $120 or something, Dave, along those? $120, $130?
You're looking probably about 150 for a base.
So,
150 quid or $150?
Dollars.
So, what, 130 quid?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So they are, top-end keyboards, but not totally bank-breaking.
Yeah, they're not eye-wateringly expensive.
No.
What you'd expect to pay, maybe, for something that you can customize to that level.
Absolutely. I mean, you can choose what color keys you have. If you want to have certain ones highlighted, if you want to have, all your Elite Dangerous control keys on there, you can do that.
As if you would ever forget your Elite Dangerous controls. You need reminding of what they were.
No, you're kidding, Sophie. I have an AI running my ship for me, so I never lower the landing gear. I tell Krait, my AI, Krait, please lower the landing gear.
Sorry, I'm having flashbacks to Blade Runner now.
Yeah, isn't this sexist? Why does it have to be a female AI, Edmund?
Yeah, you're so sexist, Ed.
Oh, God.
She's the most meaningful relationship I have.
I hope your wife and children haven't heard you say.
Or your dog.
Oh, my dog. Yes, I know. I love my dog. And my wife and children.
Oh, good recovery, Ed. You were in so much trouble.
I know. So I don't know what key on my keyboard actually lowers the landing gear, because I always ask Kate to do it.
This is the biggest problem in your life right now?
No. But if I had a WASD keyboard, I'd be able to tell.
So if WASD Keyboards would like to sponsor us.
Yes, absolutely. We'd happily...
We love their keyboards.
We would happily review one of their keyboards that's specially configured for Elite Dangerous with a UK English keyboard. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Yes, bye-bye now. Anyway, I'll put the link in the show notes for a small consideration. Open sponsorship, that's us.
I think Elite Dangerous should be paying us, quite frankly.
Yeah, Frontier, one of Britain's biggest software companies. They sold a bunch of shares to a Chinese company a couple of months back. They showed 10% of the shares at a rate which valued them at £472 million. In other words, a shade under $500 million.
Oh my God.
Which actually makes them one of Britain's biggest software companies. Certainly biggest independent software company.
My brain can't even get round how many zeros that has.
Quite a few. Was it $1 billion 10 to the 9?
It depends if it's an American billion or a British billion.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know in either event. I can't remember what the difference is. Which one's which?
An American billion is a British milliard. So it's 1,000 million.
And a British billion is a 100 million or 1,000? Oh, no, it's a million.
Million. That's right.
Million.
Which is what, 10 to the 12, isn't it?
Pass.
Anyway.
Maths was never my strong point. Do you know how I actually got through my maths GCSE? Is because it came up with lots of questions about algebra and trigonometry. So it didn't have any numbers in it.
I always liked algebra. Algebra and trigonometry.
Algebra and trig, I can do them.
The thing that used to really get me was, did you ever do matrices? So like differentiation using matrices and that kind of stuff.
We probably have a more modern name for them in this modern day and age.
Oh,
Probably
a bit cheap.
Probably not. We weren't using slates and abacuses, you know.
No comment.
Shush.
Maybe lathes. Maybe lathes.
Lathes, definitely lathes.
Yes. Anyway, moving on.
We're never going to stop teasing you about your posh school.
I didn't go to a posh school. It was just an ordinary school.
You did compare to me, so...
Yeah, but Dave, to be fair, everyone went to a posh school compared to you. So.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah.
Which is more of a comment on your school than it's on you, if I may say.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good recovery.
Yeah, I did a few of those today, aren't I?
Great. Your early recoveries were not good.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
They were sarcastic good recoveries.
So, Dave, have you got around to seeing Series 2 of The Expanse?
Well, don't start the answer
Dave,
like that.
Dave, our lawyers are telling me we can't say that.
Oh, yes, I have seen it, yes. Yeah, I've watched the whole series. Fine.
Binged it in one night.
Yeah, binged it. Binged the whole lot.
You know, I love that you can use the term binge and apply it to watching TV, because it used to be solely binge drinking, and now it's TV watching or whatever.
Or ice cream eating.
Or ice cream eating. Yeah. You can binge on most things now.
Yeah, and I do happily binge on things like The Expanse. It's anyway. Halt and Catch Fire I only watch in binges because nobody else in my house likes it. So I can only watch it when everyone else is out. So everyone else has gone out. I'm like, right, I'm getting 4 episodes of Halt and Catch Fire. Woo! So yes, what did you think of Series 2 of The Expanse, Dave?
It's very good.
It was very good.
Very good.
Highly, highly enjoyable, wasn't it? Didn't stick particularly closely to the books. It's like ticked off the major plot points, but all the detail was different, basically. But having said that, I just thought it was very well done. It's one of those things, again, you know, do you watch the TV or read the book first? And it was actually quite good to get to the point where it's really not following the book, because then you don't know what's coming on, you know, what's going to be coming next. So, but yeah, very good, very enjoyable. They've been filming Series 3 for a while now, and I've been following them on Twitter, and they're very good at not giving away anything, whilst just being quite sort of giving away just enough detail to not let you know anything about what's going on. Very good. Very much looking forward to Series 3.
Yes, which is that next year?
I guess it probably will be. Probably next September for us in the UK, and probably next spring for them in the US.
One sec, guys. I've just got to go put supper on. I know that's exciting.
Sure. No worries. I feel like the Hamlet music should come on now. There's
okay.
Sorry, what?
I just said okay.
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 Dave, you're going to talk about Age of Empires.
Yay! There's a new Age of Empires. Yay!
Are you keen for that, Dave?
Well, if it's better than the third one, then yeah.
Yeah, the third one was a bit arse, wasn't it?
It was the era that was the problem with it. And it's just not that interesting.
I love that the first one actually was very good. It was quite novel, the way they did it. And that was ancient Egypt, wasn't it? Then
the first one, was that ancient Egypt?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Wouldn't it have little chaps running around next to the Nile and poking crocodiles and hippos with pointy sticks?
Sorry, it just sounds so funny when you say it like that.
I thought that Age of Empires 1 was like Romans and stuff. I might be wrong. It might well have been Egypt.
So Age of Empires 2 was the kind of medieval Europe one, wasn't it?
Yes, and then you had Age
and I
of
did like one. You got the Vikings and the Celts and the I don't know whatever's, and that was quite good. But Age of Empires 3, that was the ones where you had the Aztecs who had no horses, didn't you? And
I think so, yeah.
The Koreans who had funny headdresses, and they kind of broadened out. They kind of make it more of a Civ game, didn't they? A much broader range of civilizations. But it sort of lost some of the fun along the way.
It's not a bad game.
No.
But it's just not as good as the previous one.
They're remastering, aren't they? Remastering Age of Empires 1, is that right?
I think they've already done it, I think.
Can you get that now? Is it on Steam or GOG or?
It may be on Steam.
That's interesting.
I know it's soon. It's either out now or it's very soon. Because they've just done StarCraft at the same time, haven't they?
They remastered.
Pretty sure they both had.
Oh yes, they did. They remastered the first one, didn't they?
Yes.
Do you know what I wish they'd do? As a slight, diversion or digression again. I wish they would remaster the original proper Doom, Doom 1, Doom 2, as one game, with exactly the same gameplay, just with thoroughly, fully modern, up-to-date graphics.
I wish they would remaster Freelancer. It's the only sort of space game that I've actually enjoyed.
No, I liked Freelancer a lot.
I thought the plotline in it was surprisingly good, actually.
Yeah,
and it was
what about Starlancer, though?
Yeah, and Starlancer.
I never played Starlancer.
Nah, I thought Starlancer was better than Freelancer.
Starlancer was more linear, wasn't it?
Yes, Starlancer was. It's just
My recollection was that they wanted to bring out. They had the engine running. They wanted to bring out a game, but Freelancer was running behind schedule. So what they did is they boshed together Starlancer on the same engine, using the same sort of graphics, and knocked that one out as a stopgap.
I think so. Yeah, it's very story driven, wasn't it? You go from mission to mission.
Yeah, well, it was like a spiritual successor to Wing Commander games. I always enjoyed the Wing Commander games.
Do you like space games, Ed?
I'm not sure.
Give it some more thought. You may have found your niche genre there. It's not really niche, actually, to be fair.
in my defence, Elite Dangerous isn't a game; it's a way of life.
Of course, you're absolutely right there. How could I have been so foolish?
I don't have time. The thing about Elite Dangerous is, and okay, I may have said this before. I actually don't remember. But half the game half the game is not in the game. At least half the game is outside the game.
Actually, to be fair, I'm not sure if you have said that before.
There are, the various communities that are online, the people who are on Twitter, the people on Facebook, and the people who organise themselves. At least half the game. And there's radio stations that are run by players, for God's sake. There's more than one. There's 3 that I know of, and there may be more. All the online tools that are run by the communities, people that organise them communities to do big charity events and stuff. It's a lot of the game is outside the game. At least half the game is not actually in the game. The game is obviously like the thing that binds everyone together. It's the central thing. It's where the focus is. But the big expeditions that are organised aren't organised using in-game tools. They're organised on on Twitter and Discord.
It might entertain you to know that there are a few stories about them available on fanfiction.net for Elite Dangerous.
I actually, funny enough, I'm currently reading one of the books, one of the fanfiction books, which I did a bit of a running around like a fanboy when I was at Frontier Expo, and
this is what all expos are for.
Yes, I managed to track down people, get selfies taken with them.
You are so cool.
Well, do you know what? I got a selfie with David Braben. David Braben, who is the CEO and founder of Frontier Developments, a nearly £500 million company, took the time out of his day to have a quick chat with me and a selfie, and was very nice about it.
I think that's just cool.
It is, and it's brilliant customer relations because actually, I was very impressed at that. He didn't just run away. He took the time.
He's like, here comes another crazy fan. Put on a happy face.
Yeah, it's another one. Insecurity.
and I got my book signed. I met a lot of content creators I met the Kate who voices my AI.
Okay, was that a bit weird? Because I would have found that weird.
Well, her voice is very familiar because I listen to it a lot. But of course, she has no idea who I am. I've never seen me before, so I'm just like some big bloke who looms out of the darkness at her. So
that makes it sound creepy.
Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I might cut that bit out because I didn't mean it like that. The joy of being the editor means I get to cut out all the bits I don't like.
Well, that's fine. I just thought I should warn you. That sounded weird.
Thank you, Sophie. But,
You're welcome.
Obviously, she doesn't know me from Adam. So I just go up to her, and because she's written a number of books, and I kickstarted an audio book she did. So I say, my boys loved your audio book, and blah blah blah, bit of a chat. It's very nice to be able to meet these people.
Yeah, and put faces to voices, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, where do we got on to? Oh yes,
Age of Empires. Yeah.
Was there anything else you'd like to say about Age of Empires, Dave?
Well, just the main thing of, I hope it's not ruined, because if this game's shit, then they're not going to make another one. It's just not going to happen. I would have
think this is
preferred.
the last.
Well, they
try.
tried an online version, apparently, like a free-to-play online version, and that flopped massively. So I do wonder. Strategy games aren't as big as they used to be.
No, definitely not.
No, they're not, are they? I didn't even know they did an online version of that, actually. So it completely passed me by. But I don't really want to play, I don't want to basically PvP a strategy game. It's not what I like. So.
No, they did this with Command and Conquer. The last Command and Conquer it's like multiplayer focused, and you picked a role. So you are either the person that built the base, built the units, or built the defence.
Oh, yeah, that was a disaster.
And that was your role in the game, and that was shit. Yeah. I played 15 minutes of that max and just went, fuck this. Closed it. It's like, this isn't Command and Conquer. It's completely pointless. So I don't want to sit there building guard towers for the whole fucking game.
No, quite.
You have a valid point.
If you're going to have one of those class-based games, the roles, the classes have to be interesting, don't they?
Exactly, and all that's going to happen if you play that online, you'll just get abuse.
Yep.
Or someone going, "Oh, you shit! You put guard tower in the wrong place." Oh, fuck off! I don't care. Give a shit. Choose the game, and I don't I'm not bothered.
Yes, no, it's one of the biggest problems about playing online, isn't it? Unless your community is good, you're going to get abuse, and it can be just really irritating.
Well, the problem is the communities always normally start out all right.
Yeah.
And then if the game becomes popular, you're fucked.
People forget they're supposed to be playing these things for fun. They've spent money on a game and they spend their time doing it, and it's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be a laugh, and they take it too seriously, and there's too much anger involved.
Exactly.
And people are too prepared to be a dick as well.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the problem you've got there is anonymity, haven't you?
Yep.
So if you wanted to become someone else online, you could just change your name.
Yep. And in fact, by playing an online game, you can guarantee you already have changed your name. Like, the first thing you do is to create an avatar, isn't it?
Exactly. I'm hardly going to put my full name, date of birth.
Full name, yes, and address. Yeah, it's not going to be happening, is it?
Oh wait, you're not meant to do it? Oh shit.
Dave, that's maybe going wrong.
That's why the bailiffs are after you.
Yeah, that's why I've got creepy people hanging outside my house.
Oh, sorry, Dave, that's me.
Fair enough. I wonder why the bushes were rustling at 2 o'clock in the morning. But there isn't much to go on for Age of Empires. There's been like a brief kind of CGI reveal trailer.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've actually announced any, what the factions are and all that kind of stuff. It looks like, from what they might be doing, is it might cover most time spans. So it'll start at I don't know, Stone Age or something, and then you get to modern day. I'm not sure.
Well, that'd be quite interesting. As long as you get to play the same civilization all the way through. I was playing, what's the one set on a tropical island where you dictator? Tropico. It's called Tropico, isn't it?
Yes.
I was playing that, and every time you move from one time period to another, at least in the version I was playing, you start off again on a new island. And what? Oh, hang on, this isn't right. I've just spent ages developing this and building it up and putting the roads down and whatever else I've been doing, and now you're telling me I've got to start on a whole new one? No, thank you. Uninstall.
Yeah, it's like every island is a level, isn't it? Basically.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I wasn't happy about that at all.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. That pissed me off as well.
That would be irritating, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, it was super irritating. Funny enough, the game that we mentioned earlier on, Cyberpunk 2077, I've just had a latest news pop up.
Oh, we have?
Literally just popped up as we've been on air, as we've been recording, I should say. It's just popped up on my YouTube, but as YouTube alert.
Scores and YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. Can you put that in the show notes or link it?
It's on my phone, but I have to send it across.
That's fine. Send it on my phone.
Yeah, okay, we'll do.
WhatsApp it.
Yes, all right. I'll send it across.
I'm really looking forward to that. Looks like it's going to be a good one.
It does look very good, doesn't it?
Really does. Really does.
Yeah, no, looking forward to that one coming up. What I'm not looking forward to is Disney pulling all the content from Netflix, which has been announced. And what's really pissed me off about this is that there are too many streaming services.
It's getting a bit plugged up in the ether, isn't it?
Well, you don't know which one to get. You end up, if you want to watch everything you want to watch, you end up having to keep subscribing to yet another service. Disney want to set up their own channel, so they're going to pull their content from Netflix by 2019. And Apple are apparently spending $1 billion on original content for Apple TV, which you can only get if you have an Apple device. And then you think, no, I'm not subscribing to another service. I'm not going to buy yet another device. I've run out of HDMI ports. I've actually got to go an HDMI adapter thingy because I've got that many boxes hanging off the back of my TV. No, I'm not going to do it. I don't care what's on there. I'm drawing the line.
This is interesting then, because I wonder if it will eventually come full circle again. So you'll come back round to having one channel that doesn't, well, not one channel, but one subscription service that'll just be an umbrella for all.
Yeah, what you really want is one box that has everything in it, and it's kind of irritating because I've got an Xbox which is actually quite good for media content, but doesn't have everything. Sorry.
And gaming.
My boys use it for gaming. I use it for watching Netflix.
I use it for gaming. Can't get on with PlayStation. I hate the PlayStation controller.
Do you?
It's like I'm retarded.
What was that, Dave?
PC gaming master race.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, over all of them, PC gaming.
Yes. PC gaming really is where it's at, isn't it? It is the
definitely.
But
anyway, sorry, off topic.
The boys use the Xbox for gaming, and I use it, and Debbie and I in the evenings use it for watching TV. But it doesn't have all the channels on it. Then we've got Now TV sent me a free box. It's a Now branded Roku box, but although it does have like all the free to air iPlayer, ITV player, blah blah, it has Now TV in it. Doesn't have Amazon. Doesn't have Netflix. I've got a Chromecast where you can cast things. You can use your phone as a controller yeah, and that has Now TV, iPlayer, blah blah blah. Has Netflix. Doesn't have Amazon TV on it, which is just so annoying. If you buy an Amazon Fire Stick, that doesn't have everything on it either, because I can't remember. It's either Netflix or Now TV is not supported by the Amazon Fire Stick. So it's really hard to find a box that has all of them on there. There is one that I just found. It's Roku, like their own box, and that actually does have everything on it. But if Apple had started to make their own content, it's not going to have Apple content on it. There's no guarantee at all it'll have Disney content on it if they set up their own streaming service.
I can almost guarantee it won't have Apple on it because Apple will be determined to keep it separate.
Well, that's why they're spending money on content is to draw people into the Apple platform, isn't it? One sort or another. But what do I then have to have an Apple box hanging on the back of my telly as well? I'm going to need 56 HDMI ports on the back of my bleeding telly.
Screw that! You're going to just need another TV. One at like eye level and then one slightly higher.
And have them all on at the same time. That's why you have a bank full of TV screens.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I'm sorry for doing this. The screen they had on the back of the presentation stage at the Frontier Expo was an absolutely enormous screen, many meters from corner to corner. Great big screen. Wasn't a projector of any sort. It was actually a 4K monitor. It's the biggest production 4K monitor you can get. Damn thing was like, 20 meters from corner to corner. It was enormous.
I've got two of those.
Have you, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Can you even get them in your flat?
No, you had to wreck them outside, apparently.
It doesn't sound safe.
My whole flat is a telly, all right?
Is that what it is? What's your name? Barney Stinson?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, we're going to have to wrap this up now.
Oh, no, it is time to go.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, okay. There's going to be a lot of editing to do in this one. Mainly from taking out the things I shouldn't have said, I think. Taking out my faux pas. But anyway.
Oh, don't worry, it wasn't that bad. You've done worse.
Thanks. Anyway, nice to chat with you.
And you guys.
And you.
And, we'll see you again soon.
Chat soon.
Okay,
Yes.
bye.
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 Oh, Southern Hellfire, I'm on it. I just don't know.
I would say yes. Yeah, it'd be alright, wouldn't it?
Damn it. I'm just here to provide light relief.
Fuck this.
And that's taken as read. Awesome.